crafters. It's Chris from Crafts with Chris, and thank you so much for going to my online shop and making a purchase and using the current host code, spending $150 at my shop, or buying this card kit outright from me. I really appreciate all the support you guys have shown me over the last few years. So this card class here is called the Gorgeous Leaves card class. You should have received in the mail a packet to make 6 cards, 3 different designs. You'll get all the materials to make those cards. You do not need to use the Gorgeous Leaves stamp set and dies. You'll have all the materials to make the cards, and you can pretty much coordinate any stamp set you have with these current cards. You also will find in your packet, you'll find a PDF with all of the materials used, and also any sizes in case you want to recreate these cards, and also a link to this video in the PDF. So let's go ahead and get started. This is card number 1. So I'm going to show you guys your piece of crumb cake will already be embossed like this, but I want to show you guys how I did this. So I am using the Timber 3D embossing folder out of the new mini catalog, and what I'm going to do is on your folder you have the Stampin' Up logo, and then on the other side is the Stampin' Up Made in China. That's the side that we're going to apply our ink to. So what you're going to do is you're going to take, I use soft suede, you're going to drag it lightly over the top. Now with these inks through Stampin' Up, they are water-based, so they rinse off easily. I wouldn't recommend doing your StazOn or your Memento inks or any non-water-based inks because they will stain. So all I'm going to do is kind of drag my ink pad over this folder so you can see that nice amount of ink is on there. So you don't want to go too crazy. I mean, you can, but you'll see when you start going with a lot of the ink, it goes inside those grains. So that's all you're going to do is just drag your ink pad over the top. And then with this, I want my wood to go this way, and my card front is going this way, if it makes sense. So what I'm going to do is just lay it down here, try to get it as straight as you can, close the top, and then run it through your embossing machine. So once you run it through your machine, you just want to go ahead and open this up, and then I'm just going to dump it, and there is the finished product. So you can see the more ink you put on, the darker it's going to go. But I really love the effect of that. So if you turn it around, you'll see if you did not put that ink on there, you still get that 3D embossed effect, but this just really makes it pop up. So that's how I did that in your packet, just in case you guys are wondering. Like I said, you will already have yours done like this. And then all you need to do with your folder, if you do this technique, run it right underneath your faucet and it'll run clean. So let's go ahead, bring in the other elements to this card. So in here you have your card base. It will be pre-scored. So you want to just go ahead, and I always like to take the bone folder, give that a good crease. We're going to go ahead and take our piece of Whisper White, and I'm just going to use some Stampin' Seal and anchor that on the inside. In there will be your piece of crumb cake, and then you'll have this piece of Designer Series paper. So you're going to want to go ahead and take your Designer Series paper. This is going to be put on the front of this here. I'm going to go ahead and stick it right in the middle, just like so. And then I've already put some tape on the back, some snail adhesive. In your kit, you're going to find this ribbon. You're going to have 4 pieces. 2 should be a little shorter than the other 2. So you want to take your longer piece and find the center and just kind of wrap that right around. So it looks like that. Then you're going to put this on your card base. And then the two leaves in here, they're gonna go, I put one way and one the other way. I didn't use any of the adhesive sheets for this. I thought it was nice to have them kind of sitting off the paper. So I used a glue dot, and on the back of your leaf, you have this little spot here. This is where I put the glue dot. And I did that on the other one. I just like I said, the way that it kind of pops up instead of laying flat. And then to finish this card off, you have that little short piece that I was talking about earlier. You just want to go ahead, tie that into a knot on the front of your card. And then if you want to trim that, you can go ahead and trim that. I like that length, so I think I'll leave it like that. So that is card number 1. So now we're going to move along to card number 2. I think all of these cards are my favorites in this class. I don't know which one I like more than the other, but I love how simple this one is. But like I said, if you don't have this stamp set, you can use any stamp set, but this card just screams fall. So let's go ahead and bring in all of the materials for that. So in there you'll have this piece of Blackberry Bliss. So again, I'm just gonna go ahead and give that a good crease on the fold line. We're gonna take, before I forget, we're gonna put this on the inside, your piece of basic white. And then we're stamping first. So in this tag here, I did use a few colors here. So I have Smoky Slate, Rich Raspberry, Cinnamon Cider, and then Evening Evergreen. So I'm going to start with the Smoky Slate. So in your stamp set, you will have a stamp that looks like this. So that is the piece I'm using. I'm going to ink that up. I'm going to actually stamp this off twice. So it's going to be really, really light. And then I'm just going to stamp it over the tag. I'm going to do the same thing. Stamp it off twice. Bring back in the tag. And then finish it off on the bottom there. And then that's it. So in your stamp set, you have these 3 leaves. We're going to use each of these leaves. I have my colors already open. So the first leaf I'm going to stamp out is the this leaf here. And I am going to use the Rich Raspberry for this. I'm going to go full strength with it. And I'm just going to stamp it right over the top here. And then the second leaf is the longer leaf here. This is with Cinnamon Cider. And I'm going to stamp it the opposite way. And then the last leaf is this little guy here. That's going to be stamped with Evening Evergreen. And then this one is going to be stamped at the bottom. Just like that. I love the look of that. So that's how it will look, your little tag. So in your card kit, you will find this little piece here. It will already have the adhesive on the back for you. So you just want to go ahead, peel that adhesive off. And then this is going to go at the top of your tag. You can line it up. Whoops. You can line it right up with the hole up at the top. And then you can kind of get it nice and even. So it'll look something like that. And then in your kit, you'll have a little baggie, and you should have 2 of these black brads in there. I can get one out. So what we're going to do is, with this, you want to determine how you want your tag to lie. So I have my tag, if it's straight, it would lie like that. But because I put these little brads here, it kind of just falls against the tag, or the little brad. So it's up to you how you want to design your card. But I'm going to do kind of the same concept. So I'm going to put it in the corner here, right about there, I think. And then what I'm going to do is your Take-A-Pick tool, you're going to go ahead and just poke through with the pointy end, and then take your brad, put it through, and then just go ahead and open up that brad, and that will hold your tag in place. So now this, we're going to go ahead and layer that on the front of our card. So I grab my Stampin' Seal Plus, but you can just use regular Stampin' Seal. See, the Stampin' Seal Plus does have a strong adhesive on it, so it can tend to rip your paper if you're not careful. So let's go ahead and put this on the front of our card. Oh, see, I'm rushing ahead. Before we put this on the front of the card, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there is Versamark ink on here. In your stamp set, there is this wood design. So before I stamp this, put that piece on, let me show you guys what I did. I have my Versamark ink and I have my wood design here. So all I'm going to do is just stamp this along the front of the card here. And I want to make sure that I get the edges, because that's where you're mostly going to see it. You're not going to see the center. So that's all I did there. You can see on the card, this one, it's hard to see. That's what I did on this background card, or on the this card here in the background. So that's all I did there. So now you can go ahead and put this on the front of the card. In your card kit, like I said, you have that little bag where you found your brad there. You're also going to have 12 of these. So you have 6 for each card. So I just place these randomly on the front of the card. Like I said, if you want your card to swing out and you want it to stay, put a dot there, and that'll prevent that card from moving. So like I said, randomly, wherever you want. You could even put them on the tag if you wanted. I forgot another element to this card. I just am crazy this time. I forgot to put the ribbon on. So, you guys, I'm trying to get the video done, that's why. So anyways, before we put this green piece on here, you have this ribbon in here. All I did was I folded it in half, and then I put it on the bottom of the card. And of course, it's got adhesive already on the back. So I put it on the bottom of the card like that. Let me remove this dot. My goodness, you guys. And then you have this piece here, and then you can tie a little knot like we did on that first card. So it'll look like that. And then you can go ahead and trim these. I'm so sorry about that, you guys. I missed a step. So now I think I'm going to put some glue underneath there. Let's see, just because I have that. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So don't miss that step. Sorry about that. So after you do this, then you want to put your little elements on, your little beads on, or your little brushed metallic dots. I don't know if I liked... There we go, right there. So that's it to that card. Super easy, super cute to do. So here's another mistake I did. This tag is hanging over. So when you go to put it into the card, you're not going to be able to get it over there. So you're going to have to move it anyways. So let's take the little dot off again. I'm all over the place today, guys. Let's see. Put it right here. Thank goodness everybody who gets my card class knows who I am and knows I am not perfect by any means. So then, there we go. So then I kind of just tucked that little tag underneath the ribbon. And there's the card. It's finally finished. Sorry about all the steps I missed. So I'll do better on the next one, I promise. This is card number 3. I almost want to say this is my favorite, but I love them all. This one's so easy. So let's go ahead and bring in all of our materials. So I dropped my ink pad on this card, so you're going to see some, I think it was crumb cake on here. I'm just not having a day, I guess. So in your packet, you'll have this Calypso Coral. You want to just go ahead and fold that in half. I used the bone folder. I'm going to use this piece of Very Vanilla to line the inside. The top here, or the front of your card, you have this piece of Designer Series paper, and you could use this side, but I love the coordinating colors here. It's up to you. So this is just going to get glued to the front of your card. So in your kit here, you have this piece of Very Vanilla cut out in the stitched rectangle. So as you know, on this card, I have the word hello, and there are no sentiments in the current stamp set we're using. So I just took, this is Love of Leaves, which is another great fall set with the stitching. And I took in here this little hello, and that's what I'm using. You could use any sentiment you want in any of your collection that you have. I'm just going to use some Memento and stamp that hello out. And I'm going to just stamp that right in the middle. Then in your package, you have this beautiful piece of sparkly bedazzler, I think it's called, paper. This is going to go on top. I am going to use the Stampin' Seal Plus because we're gluing it on top of that paper, which does not have a smooth surface on it. So this is going to go right in the center of this, just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'll use my Stampin' Seal. You can use either one. And this is going to get glued at the bottom of your card. So I just left a little bit of that Designer Series paper showing at the bottom. And then in your cards, or in your packet, you have these two beautiful leaves. So these are going to go on the front just like this, with the stems touching. So I found the glue dots work best for this. Again, I did not put adhesive sheets on here. I kind of like that they're not really that flat sticking down. So I'm just going to see where I want these leaves, where I want them to rest. And then we're going to tie a bow and kind of cover this up. So I'm going to stick a glue dot right here and then stick one of the stems down. Then I'm going to take another glue dot, stick that over on that stem, and press that down. Then I'm going to take these little glue dots and I'll anchor parts of the leaf down. So I'll just kind of figure out on here where I want that. I'll put one in the middle here. the bottom. And I love how you can manipulate these glue dots. You don't have to use them the way they are. You can see I kind of got it all wadded up on the end here. You can make it nice and small and then stick them pretty much wherever you want on your projects. So I'll just do a couple just to make sure that these leaves don't pop off. And then what I'm going to do is you have your piece of baker's twine in here. So I'm just going to make a little bow, nothing fancy. Once you get your bow to where you want it, however big you want your bow, I just made a little, just a small little bow. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another glue dot, stick that on top of the two stems there. Then I'm going to stick this right on top of that. And then I'm just going to take my little tails here and trim them. That's it. That's it to that card. I love all the bling this one has. So these are the cards for this week's Gorgeous Leaf card class. I hope you guys had a lot of fun making them. Sorry about the bloopers in between. A lot of fun with this class, and I can't wait to see you guys at my next card class. Thank you guys.